This is Headline News with Pistol from Jamaica, the Caribbean, and the world. Sponsored by JojoMatMusic.com. Hello everyone, I am Pistol and this is your Headline News. Out of Jamaica, Mario Jackson's sisters say that had he taken his medicine on time last Tuesday, he would have fallen asleep by about 7:30 p.m. But because he wanted to stay up and party with friends and the medicine made him sleepy, Jackson opted against following the prescription. That decision cost him his life. At about 10 o'clock that night, Jackson, 24, and another man identified by residents as David Todd, otherwise called Yellow, were brutally gunned down outside Jackson's home, which houses a bar and gambling shop on the Linstead bypass in St. Catherine, Jamaica. Jackson was hit in the back of the head and kneeled over just as he entered his gate. The mayhem forced relatives and about 30 gamblers to scamper for cover. Residents with bloodshot eyes and tear-stained faces recalled a night of madness. According to Jackson's relatives, the gunmen came to the bar and ordered cigarettes. However, their aim, the relatives allege, was to get close to Todd, who was sitting and eating at the entrance to the bar. It was not clear if the gunmen collected the cigarettes before they began peppering Todd with bullets. That section of the bypass was lively on Tuesday night, residents said. In addition to the noisy gamblers inside, a party was in full swing just meters from the bar when the gunshots rang out. However, it seemed Jackson, affectionately called Nylon, panicked. Instead of running away from the shooters, he ran toward them trying to enter his yard. That's when they shot him, said residents who cried as they questioned his final actions. Up to press time, it was too early for police processing the scene to speak about a possible motive for the killings, but residents speculated that Todd may have been targeted for hitting a woman in a nearby parish recently. He was taken to the hospital by police but died before medical personnel could help him, residents said. Last Tuesday night's murders were the latest in a spate of gun crimes in Linstead, St. Catherine in Jamaica. Two men were reportedly gunned down during a dispute in Tivoli Gardens early last Thursday morning. Reports are that about 1:30 a.m. the two men were involved in a quarrel when a gun was brought into play and one of them shot and killed. According to the police, minutes later, the attacker was set upon by men in the community who shot him to death. The reason behind the deadly dispute was not disclosed. Head of the Radiation Oncology Center of Jamaica, ROCJ, Dr. Winston Freddie Clark, is calling for a partnership between private healthcare institutions and the government to assist needy cancer patients who cannot afford the three-dimensional radiation therapy. Clark's call comes after 24-year-old stomach cancer patient Sasha Gay Lewis made a public appeal for help to find $1.7 million to undergo chemoradiation, which could go a far way in saving her life. Clark said, "We need a public-private partnership which could efficiently handle people in need." Clark said the ROCJ had offered Lewis a discount of $1.1 million through the Ministry of Health's Compassionate Fund, but was not aware if Lewis was informed of that development. Lewis told the Jamaica Observer that she was not aware of the discount until days ago when she saw a report in the media. The ROCJ charges those who can afford to pay up to $2 million for 5 to 8 weeks of treatment, but Clark pointed out that the company works closely with the Kingston Public Hospital, KPH, to assist those who are out of pocket and offers 50 to 70% discounts to those patients who are referred to them by the hospital. Apart from Lewis, ROCJ has offered discounts to cancer patients Dylan Williams and Ajani Campbell in recent times. ROCJ had offered through KPH to treat Sasha Gay Lewis and Dylan for $600,000 each. Further, a request from the Ministry of Health Compassionate Fund, ROCJ offered to treat Ajani for $900,000, stated a letter to the media last week bearing Clark's signature. He said the partnership was needed because people who are diagnosed with cancer and are recommended to undergo radiation therapy have an immediate need. While cancer treatment figures are quoted in the millions on a global scale, Jamaica offers one of the cheapest rates for radiation and chemotherapy. Clark said just quoting the figures without researching the cost on the world market might end up with ROCJ and other private cancer clinics being unfairly stigmatized. Clark stated that he is faced with astronomical energy bills and has to import people with the skills from India, Botswana, and Trinidad, as there is no institution set up to train Jamaicans how to administer the treatment and operate the machinery. Jamaica offers the cheapest treatment in the English-speaking Caribbean, he said. Out of Bridgetown, Barbados, a leading regional academic called on Caribbean community CARICOM countries to adopt a common position as it regards the ongoing situation in Syria. Professor of Social and Political Change at the Mona campus of the University of the West Indies, Brian Meeks, told the Caribbean Media Corporation CMC that his advice to regional governments is that they should do it together, they should consult each other, and they should act multilaterally through their respective organizations, in particular the Caribbean community, and whatever decisions are made should be made on that foundation. He said his own view is that the Caribbean countries should stick close to the United Nations and the positions taken by the world body. Last Monday, the St. Vincent and Grenadines government said it was alarmed at the recent allegations of the use of chemical weapons in Syria and remained deeply concerned with the spiraling humanitarian crisis in the Middle East. But the government said it considered any external military action to be premature. The United States has said it had irrefutable evidence that the chemical weapons were used by the Bashar al-Assad administration, resulting in the deaths of nearly 1,500 people, including more than 400 children last month. The Obama administration has threatened military retaliation and has gained support from the Senate for its impending action. But Professor Meeks told CMC that any flare-up in the Middle East would result in increased oil prices for Caribbean countries still battling with a global economic crisis. He said oil prices were already on the increase, and that would undoubtedly have a deleterious effect on the Caribbean, with the sole exception of oil-rich Trinidad and Tobago. He said it was also important for the Caribbean to continue pushing for a world of multilateralism, with the decisions taken not only by a handful of countries. In Jamaica, up to press time, a 23-year-old woman remained in the hospital after she was shot 7 times during what is believed to be a dispute over a gun. The shooting caused scores of people to gather at the Kingston Public Hospital last Wednesday afternoon after news spread that the woman, who is said to be popular in the West Kingston area, had been shot. Information suggests that the 23-year-old was rushed to the hospital following a daylight attack which occurred shortly after 5 p.m. while she was in her community. She was reportedly shot in the head, mouth, and other sections of her upper body. Residents say the woman may have been shot because of a dispute over a gun. However, it could not be ascertained how the female became involved. A spent shell, which was removed from the woman's pocket by family members, was handed over to the police personnel stationed at the KPH. Up to press time, there was no indication whether the emergency exercise to save the woman's life was successful. The West Kingston police told reporters that the matter is still under investigation. They also refused to confirm or deny whether or not the woman was shot as a result of a dispute over a gun. I am Pistol, and that was your headline news. That was headline news from Jamaica, the Caribbean, and the world. Sponsored by JoJoMacMusic.com.
Get it? It's hot, hot. Girl, you turn it up, it buck. It can't get no higher than this, it turn up. Girl, you turn it up, it buck. It can't get no higher than this, it turn up.
I'm in love.
Now this is Chakademus letting you know that my new album Chakademus Second Coming, now available on all major download sites including iTunes, Amazon and CD Baby. Don't forget to get your copy of the hot new single I'm in Love featuring Jojo Mac. Get it, it's hot, hot. That's Chakademus Second Coming, now available on all major download sites including iTunes, Amazon and CD Baby. Get it, it's hot, hot. Get it, it's hot, hot. There's a party going on and the big band sounds are there. Big party, get it, it's hot, hot. Get it, it's hot, hot. Big party, big party.